Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/entitled people. In today's episode, truck driver butt hurt because I parked in front of him. Old woman yells at me for not telling her to get out of the way. Entitled son, 25, verbally attacks his father after he asked him to move out and get his own apartment with his GF. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Truck driver butt hurt because I parked in front of him. I was looking for a spot to park in a small downtown area by the shop I wanted to go to. There was a space right out front, so I parallel parked. Well, the guy in the massive pickup truck parked behind me immediately honked at me. I was busy grabbing coins for the meter and I couldn't initially tell it was directed at me. He then dramatically spent a full minute trying to pull out of the spot, backing up, turning his wheels over and over. He finally got out and pulled up alongside me. He rolled down his window, but because his car was twice the height of mine, I couldn't even see him, and yelled "Park right next time." Then peeled off, for about 100 feet, where he had to abruptly stop at an intersection. I got out of my car and double-checked to confirm I was easily within the designated boundaries of my parking space. Maybe don't park your massive truck in a small space if you don't know how to handle it. That's why pickup trucks shouldn't be taken into cities. Them be country vehicles. If that were to be enforced, about 80% of the people in my city would be without a vehicle. 90% of trucks nowadays shouldn't even exist. They can't do anything trucks are designed to do. You should have told him to add parking his truck to the list of things he shouldn't try in a small town. Maybe don't park your massive truck in a small space if you don't know how to handle it. He could also have got out of the truck and approached you and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I seem to have chosen an overly small space and to be parked in. Would you be so kind as to move for a moment to let me out," instead of being a jerk about it. I had a guy in a lifted truck with spacers and wide tires on the wheels tell at me for taking the only spot he could fit in. I took a normal spot that also had a spot open next to it. He was mad I didn't leave him two spots. Old woman yells at me for not telling her to get out of the way. Okay, so I was in Walmart for groceries. I'm not in any hurry and I don't mind waiting behind someone. There was this old woman in front of me on a certain aisle. I was patiently waiting for her to move so I could get what I needed. She noticed me and asked all cranky like, "Do you need something from here?" Yes. She didn't give a chance to say more, which would have been, "But I don't mind waiting." She gets really angry and screams at me, "Well, why didn't you tell me to move out of the way? I would have moved." Now I got really angry and snapped at her, "Unlike you, I'm not a rude cow. I have no problem waiting since I have plenty of time. And even if I didn't, I still wouldn't be so rude. I was raised right." I deliberately added the last part since a lot of old people like to use that so much. She got really angry and turned red in the face and started screaming at me. I rolled my eyes and said, "Whatever." More anger, and then I thought to myself, "And I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this shit." I turned around to go the other way and she starts following me, still screaming. So I ran and started giggling. She wasn't able to run. The screaming died down. I hid for a few minutes and then went back to get what I wanted. It was when I got outside to put my groceries in my car, had just finished and just got into my car, that appeared at my window screaming. Just about scared me half to death. I couldn't help myself. I mean, when would I really get such awesome opportunity to be an asshole? Since she couldn't actually harm me, I became childish. I rolled my window down a few cm, then stuck out my thumb and said, "Nah, bobo, you can't catch me." The stunned astonishment and silence was very entertaining. Then her face got redder and kinda purple. The screaming started again, which was muted when I closed the window. I did a few more childish things which increased the screaming, and then suddenly she stopped. I was gleefully laughing. She ran out of breath and walked away rather abruptly. I was kinda disappointed, but oh well. It was when I went home and got my kids to help bring in the groceries that both of them took one look at me and said, "What did you do?" LOL. I must say my favorite part is your kids knowing you did something. Didn't know what, but they know their parent. That's the best family dynamic I have read today. Congrats on raising your crew well. Ha, this is class. A lot of people these days, especially older people, are so entitled and use any excuse to scream and shout at others. I know we all have bad days, but we don't take it out on other people. I'm so glad you didn't let it wind you up and got so much enjoyment out of it. Well done. LOL, sometimes it's best to fight fire with childish glee. Entitled son, 25, verbally attacks his father after he asked him to move out and get his own apartment with his GF. My brother is on a disability due to chronic pain. He owns a home and his son lives with him and pays a small rent a month since he has a stable job. Well, my nephew decided to have his GF move in without asking my brother. My brother had told him that it's okay for the GF to stay 2 nights a week, but she can't move in due to the added cost to the household. The house is also small for 3 people and my brother is on a fixed income. Well, his son did just the opposite. So he told his son he is selling his house to move to 55 plus housing and that he needs to find an apartment. Since then, his son hasn't stopped verbally abusing him through text messages. These are hate-filled texts coming from someone that was given everything. Also, he's blaming my brother for telling him to move out and that he's only given 3 months to find an apartment. He's on a rage because now he has to pay more for rent and be a responsible adult and had to make his own decisions. He's upset that he's going to be moving with his GF that can't hold down a job. So far, my nephew has been busy bad-mouthing my brother to his friends and family. He should be busy packing since my brother just sold his house. If he doesn't, he will lose his stuff. He had a chance to listen and chose not to. FA and FO numerous times to figure it and chose not to, and now he is forced to be an adult while have a tantrum. This is exactly what he needed. Brother needs to look out for himself due to the constant pain he is in. Hopefully he's able to try alternative therapies like psychoactive mushrooms, water therapy. Eviction notice now, nephew and GF will probably squat if they can get away with it. You don't want your brother being caught on a hung sale. Pad the exit time so that there is space between sale and eviction. Your brother may be in true danger. I hope that he is aware of the risks and is willing to call the police. Parasites do not like being asked to give up their ability to live off of others. I'm assuming the family all know what nephew is like, so no one will pay attention to his tantrums. He brought it all on himself because he decided to disrespect his dad. Now he has to live with his consequences. Yes, it's the family that told my brother what his son was doing behind his back. So far they got her side of the family fooled. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.